This is Expeditiously. I am Tip T.I. Harris. Now, the following experience is not a test. The conversations and stories expressed on this podcast are meant to be an expression of purpose and truth. This show, properly entitled Expeditiously, is a free exchange of ideas and opinions. No judgment, no preconceived beliefs, no fear. You're encouraged to share your thoughts and ask any question as long as it's done with respect. And that's through true love and respect for others that we will change the world and speak truth to power, one show at a time. Now, without further ado, this is Expeditiously. I'm Tip T.I. Harris. Welcome to Expeditiously. I'm your host, Tip Harris. Our guest today is a good partner of mine. Good partner of mine, but also an opponent. Yes, we've gone head-to-head on the spade table. But he's also an NFL MVP, a Heisman Trophy winner, 3-time Pro Bowl player, and is known as one of the most dynamic quarterbacks to ever play the game. Also an entrepreneur, podcast host, TV host, philanthropist, as well as a trendsetter. A fashion-forward trendsetter, if I must say. In his first season, he was named Offensive Rookie of the Year and was the first rookie to throw over 4,000 yards in one season. Also the first to throw 400 yards in his NFL debut. His podcast, Funky Fridays with Cam Newton, interviews guests from all walks of life and allows them to share their stories in a lighthearted, safe space. He also recently became the co-host of BET's 106 in Sports. He's known for his bold fashion sense, honest outspokenness, and his confidence. Although his path to success was not a smooth one, he persevered and has become an example for everyone. Please welcome my good friend Cam Newton to Expedition. What's happening, man? Welcome, man. What's the deal?
Can't call it.
Man. Hey, how you feeling today?
Man, if I had your hand, I'd throw mine in.
I had your legs, I sure could kick it.
I'm trying to tell you.
Come on, man. It's no stranger that you come from the town, and you play high school ball on the south side,
yes,
correct? What was just to clarify? What was your high school?
Westlake.
Westlake High School.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were tearing it up out there, man.
No, I always like to play homage, and a lot of people would say that this person went to my high school, but I would like to say I went to Pac-Man High School. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a person who I looked up to growing up from Atlanta. And then as you looked around the city, the Ahmad Carrolls, the Batmans,
right?
You have so many different other figures that went to Doug.
Jamal Lewis. Gotta say Jamal Lewis.
But those individuals were people that set the floor for where I wanted to be.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And you grew up in a football-centered family.
Yes, sir.
How did that shape what you became?
No, it was all I knew. And I grew up in the church. So a lot of things I wasn't privy to growing up, but I still was curious.
Example?
I never smoked weed a day in my life.
Okay.
But it was always around me.
Got it.
I never really had the opportunity to party or go. I witnessed those things by the company that went to Westlake. Some would say, and some sees Westlake's dynamic, they'd be like, oh man, Westlake in a good community.
Right.
But before they're there for the people from Atlanta, before Westlake kind of got shrunk, Langston wasn't available. Certain schools wasn't available because you only had Westlake, Banneker, and Creekside. Those are the all South Side schools.
Right.
And we took them from Washington Road, you feel me? Campbellton Road, Ben Hill, Boat Rock.
Right.
And the bougie, ness around, Westlake schools as well too. Yeah. So I was very hip or cultured, so to speak. And, that always had me to be curious to what it was.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know, you know what I'm saying, you grew up, you actually had a father around as you grew up. How did that put you ahead of some of the other kids that you were playing against and that you was growing up with?
I didn't think that it was an edge until I grew up to be a man. You feel what I'm saying? Like, my father is the most influential person in my life, has always been. And my father has been a father to other young men too.
Right.
I think when you talk about philanthropic, initiatives, giving back, I learned that from him. I learned that from my mom. I learned that from my grandmother.
Right.
And now when I give back, I don't care for it to be shown because it can give off a disingenuous type of feel to it. You know, I use the game of football to attract children to the sport, but also attract them to understanding that this game can really change your life.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, you know, in College Park, East Point, Buckhead, Bankhead,
Right on.
Smyrna,
Yeah.
East Atlanta, it don't matter. It like knowing that you can commit to something and really reap the benefits to change your whole bloodlines situation is something that I always prompt children or kids to kind of go to. You ain't got to rob, you ain't got to steal, you ain't got to really kill if you have those clear visions of what you really want to do.
Mm. Now I learned that you started out as an athlete in baseball and basketball.
I played it all.
How did you end up with football going pro?
I think growing up, you play whatever sport, whichever season it is.
Got it.
And that's what I prompt my kids to do. It's like, what y'all in the house for? Go outside, man. Nigga, get musty. You know what I'm saying? Like, come back when, you know, we stood outside, we played outside all day.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that we always had the unanimous cultural rule. Be back in the house before the
sunlight, before the street light come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
You can't say that now. Because now the kids, they in the house when the sunlight is out, when the sunlight is down, when the street, they playing the game. They on their phone and certain things like that. But
we played the game too, but it's like we played the game when we got in the house.
Correct.
You know, we didn't stay in the house to play the game.
Correct. Times have changed. And for reasons that a lot of kids don't think that it's cool to just pop up at a park. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember going to the park as early as 10 a.m. And staying, probably taking a lunch break with a bag of chips at the corner store, coming back just to finish playing. Like, that's how you learn how to compete. That's how you learn to stand up for yourself. Hey, I got next.
Right.
Hey, nah, bro, I had next, man. Y'all, that right there made boys men.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? And then when you had the opportunity to showcase your talent, if you wasn't good enough, boy, hey, man, come on, man. Nah, we ain't about to let y'all little boys play. So standing up for yourself, there's certain things that being outside kind of taught you naturally.
Right.
James Davis, that's his name. And I forgot.
Man.
Yeah, there you go.
It kicked in.
It kicked in. You know, God did. Libations.
Hey, you dig what I'm saying?
You know, help.
So yeah, man. Hey, look. So I'm a big supporter of diversion program because I don't believe in one mistake throwing the future of a young person's life away. Now, I know first time felons, they get breaks throughout their life if they're lucky, and I found that you might not be sitting here today if it weren't for what you went through in 2008. Can you tell us what led to that opportunity for you to be in that diversion program?
Man, listen, November 21st, 2008 was really the day that I made that oath to myself. It's crazy that a person that I work alongside with on a day-to-day, Shell, she does all my vertical content. That day happened here recently. And I told her, I was like, yo, it's my resurrection day. And she was like, oh, you gave yourself to God? And I was like, oh, it could mean that to some people, but for me, that's when God gave me a second chance.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I was locked up or accused, allegedly, for stealing a laptop. And
from where?
The University of Florida.
But stealing from a person?
I don't know.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Okay. Got it.
So that stolen laptop was in my dorm. And when folks came, asked me questions, and instantly your spider senses, oh, I know why y'all here. You know what I'm saying? And I was embarrassed because coming from Atlanta, not a lot of people make it out. Not at the scale the right way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you will leave rebrand yourself, come back, and now you the man. How you move, what you drive, who you around you, how much money you got, da 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 da. Well, as an athlete, you do it the same. Like a lot of kids leave the city, going into Division I programs. I was the kid that was always good. You feel what I'm saying? Like I never lacked skill. Rec ball, one of the best.
Right.
High school, one of the best. College, one of the best. Pro, one of the best. Like I never lacked that. But when I went to college, I always challenged kids to keep the main thing the main thing. What I mean by that is so many times kids are no longer able to play their sport because they were distracted on trying to be or do something else that has nothing to do with their sport.
Right.
I made a decision and I had that in my possession and I got punished for it. Spent 2 days in jail. And it was like, yo, like I had time to talk to myself. Like, what are we doing?
Right.
You feel me? Embarrassingly enough, like vulnerably crying and just, it's not crying of a fear, it's crying of a disappointment.
Right.
And what's nuts is I remember that day or those days because the University of Florida was playing the Citadel. Well, also the game that was playing that weekend was Michigan and Ohio State. The quarterback at the time was Terrell Pryor for Ohio State. And this was a person during that time was like a big deal.
Right.
And I said to myself, it's like, bro, here's a person who plays the game similar to you. He playing. Nigga, you locked up. What we doing? So that oath came internally for me to just make that decision. Like, bro, when I got out, my mother was there to greet me with tears. And that oath also was the next time, there never will be a time in my life that my mother will cry tears of embarrassment. It will be tears of joy only. And the next time I seen her cry was draft night. You know what I'm saying? So
right
that those type of life lessons. But to your question, to your point, I'm a firm believer of second chances. But the individual has to understand that this is it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't. Everybody ain't gonna keep giving you grace.
Right.
With the idea of you still messing up your situation.
How did your father respond to that?
Man, I was the black sheep of my family. Still is.
How so?
I went against the grain on a lot of different things where growing up in church, I was always taught right from wrong, but I just always didn't do right.
None of us do.
Yeah.
Especially as youngsters.
Oh, for sure.
None of us do.
So for
but
me,
that's what the grace of God is here for.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? To save the wicked, not the righteous.
I'm trying to tell you.
You know what I mean?
So if we being honest, for people who knew me and knows my family dynamic, what they would assume for comparable reasons, I would be the king in your family dynamic. Publicly may have done some things that like, boy, what the daddy gonna do? I was always, called out in school. I would run home early before practice just to see if my teacher left a message on the phone so I can delete the message and run back to school. I was that child.
I remember them days.
You feel what I'm saying?
But so I was so different because my teacher used to tell me, I'm gonna call your mama. I'd be like, lady, my phone ain't on.
You know what I'm saying? But bro, I knew that they called because they would have Fulton County School on the caller ID. I was like, man, how in the world do you delete a message? Like, that was before I even was tech savvy enough.
Right.
I tried to pull the phone out of the socket just so it won't go through. But needless to say, my father was very intricate in disciplining me, but also teaching me values of being a man. You feel me?
But you know what I do? That short story that you just said, regardless of how that outcome turned out, what it said to me is your father made you care. Made you care about the outcome of your behavior while you were in school.
For sure.
And nowadays, the kids don't even care.
No.
You feel me? So that's, I think,
No.
kudos to him.
They care. They just don't fear what is to come from their actions. I always was fearful. Like, I'ma call your mama, Cam. Cool. Call my mama. But don't call my daddy. You feel what I'm saying? Boy, you call my daddy, boy, man, we gonna have some issues. You feel what I'm saying? Like, those were the type of games that I played, with my teachers. And all my teachers knew one thing, but I never disrespected them. I just love people. Right. I hated school. I love people. Right. I love the interactions that you had in the hallways, the lunch, the recess, and all those things. Like, I was the fun guy. Right. You feel me? But
why don't you think schools recognize those skills in young people and cultivate those instead of just drilling the mundane, the conventional approach to education?
I don't think that the traditional school dynamic is for everybody.
Well, I think school is there to really to breed followers.
Yeah.
I think it's there to condition young kids to become human being adults that will join the workforce and fall in line with the systems that have been set in place. Yeah. If you are someone that is a leader, someone that looks to blaze a trail and do things differently than they've ever been done before, and can lead the rest of these kids away from that system, they shun you.
I think, and you're right, to that point, I think everything about traditional K through 12 school is a system for people to just fall in line. There's nothing about the K through 12 school system teaches independence or real excelling. Right. Some will say, well, what about the magna cum laudes or the people who excel in higher learning? And I said, well, to that, how many magna cum laude individuals can use that on their resume? And it cares. Like, and people care and it matters. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. If somebody were to want to work with you and you look at their resume and they say, oh, you're a magna cum laude, and then you start to be around this person and you observe this person lacks social skills. Right. This person lacks hospitality. This person lacks the inability to figure it out, or they don't have that hustler's drive, or they watching the clock. It's 4:45 till, like, I get off at 5. Like, y'all about to go somewhere else? No, I got to go. That right there will not have you excel in this dynamic of life that we live in. Right. And I'm not shunning it. It's not for everybody. That's my statement. I don't think that traditional school system is built for individuals that, especially were like me, were free thinkers. It's like, my children have taught me this. But why is a valid question. Just because I said so, it's not a valid answer. Right. And we grew up on those type of metrics and dialogues. And it's like, but why we got to do it? Because I said so. Never said anything or uttered anything from that. But nowadays, I want to explain to my children certain things. And I don't think that it's rebelliousness. It's just understanding that they desire.
And we want to teach our children to challenge everything. Yeah. We want to teach them, but I think, we're beginning to teach challenge everything but us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Do as I say,
not as I do. Yeah. So that's kind of one of the biggest, it's one of the biggest battles I had with Dichotomy as well as King, where they were like, yo, this school, what is school for? What am I using? How am I going to use this? And Dichotomy was the most adamant about it. King, I believe, I'm not, I don't want to put nothing on him that don't fit, but I believe King kind of just said, okay, I ain't getting nowhere with him. I'm just going to pay somebody to do my work. That's what I think happened. But figuring it out just as well.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, what works for you ain't going to work for him or her.
Hey, you dig what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this,
graduated. He still graduated.
Let me ask you
with honors.
I ask from a parent's perspective who publicly has shown the family dynamic with a blended family. How do you make that work with the differences in your children?
Well, honestly, it is easier for me because as different as they all are a reflection of different parts of my personality. So they just tap into different parts of me. You know what I'm saying? I can see when they become recluse, or when they, when they just kind of don't want to talk about it no more, or when they're standoffish, or when they, whatever the dynamic is that they're experiencing or that I'm witnessing them experience. I know what part of me that is. And I know whatever it is they're doing, it kind of comes from me. So I just tap into what that is, and it's an instant ability to relate. So I just try to meet them where they are, and try to speak to them. First of all, sharing with them how I've been in similar situations and have felt similarly before, and why I understand why they may feel like that. But I also want to let them know why it's important to not give up and just leave it there, to overcome whatever it is they're feeling, because it's a greater feeling on the other side. I mean, that's kind of how I try and do it. And also, man, I also just want to let them know, it seems like this is the most important thing to you right now, but this too shall pass. You're going to evolve beyond this and get to a place where this will be a blip on the radar. And when you do, I don't want you to handle yourself in such a way where you've made such a big deal about something that won't be a big deal later on. You know what I mean? That's what I try to do most of the time.
Well, listen, I don't allow other people's judgment or rational thoughts to impact what I do. So for you and your household, no matter how young, no matter how old they are, bro, I commend each and every parent, because now we're living in a day and age, dog, that we're losing more children than having children present to really what's going on. We got social media, but people on social media ain't social. You see what I'm saying? Like it's so crazy. Like folks, like I always tease my boys. It's like, boy, y'all niggas got game. Y'all got game. Like I'm talking about, can y'all put it together? Like,
girl, they can't talk to girls.
Man.
Like, young people don't talk to girls. You know what I'm saying? They just stand around girls and see what happens.
See what happens. See what happens. You know they reaching for rich. Like, nah, don't eat. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, what? I get them coming out the house as I'm taking them to school. But go put some chapstick on. Like, nigga, man, go put some deodorant on. But here, boy, go put some of that, you know what I'm saying, smell good on. Like, those type of dynamics that even some parents don't even welcome, as a way to really tap in with their children. It's needed. It's essential because your children are curious. And even though we may think we have all the answers, your children can also be your greatest teacher.
Right.
They keep you hip. My children keep me young. Man, what's going on? 6, 7, 6, 7. Man, what in the hell is that? They do so many things that, it's amazing, but I always try to find ways to relate, but above all, I always try to make myself available.
Right.
Because they going through something.
That's right.
And yeah.
You know what? Speaking of social media, it dawned on me, like, as much of a benefit it has been for so many people to promote themselves and their products and their lifestyle, whatever it is they got going on. It's been beneficial that way, but it's also been extremely counterproductive. And I say because social media has given the worst people in the world access to the best people in the world. The worst people in the world, just think about it. The worst people in the world now have access to the best people in the world.
I don't think that's a problem.
I do. Because eventually, two people cannot meet and engage and spend time and have access to one another, unlimited access to one another, without one being affected in some way. there must be an effect.
How would you prefer it to be?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I can't say how I would prefer it to be, aside from just saying back to the way it was. But
explain that, because for some people they may not understand.
Man, when I say back to the way it was, we had to actually earn the access to the people that we spent time around.
We wanted to be around.
We wanted to be around, that we wanted to engage with, that we wanted to get information from.
Yeah.
We couldn't just have an opinion about a person that we didn't know.
Yeah.
And just have a meaningless opinion flow, because what that does is that could take a person off the path of greatness. If a person is on a path of greatness and the worst people in the world have access to them and can bombard them with a bunch of negativity, that could take that person off that path of greatness. Whether it's, I'm going to step off this path just to address you, or whether that's, I'm going to step off this path because I no longer believe in what I'm doing anymore. Or whether it's, I'm going to step off this path because I want to, but instead of doing this, I think now if I do that, I'll get a different response.
I'm going to tell you why I agree or disagree with you. It's because I think we're too soft. I think we run away from challenges. I think we will prefer the road of comfort rather than some type of contentiousness or bumpiness. Bumpiness will shape character for my children or even the people who are around me the most. If you are responding to a person who leaves a comment under your social media handle, and it affects you that much to where you have to respond,
okay,
day one. And
now,
what does that say about you?
Understood.
So if I'm in this dynamic and I'm starting to see a lot of times people they don't go through the ringer. So they can easily be distracted, affected, and swayed. And what does that really say about your vision that you had set forth for yourself?
Now, you're absolutely correct. Once you have made it to a point where you or we are. I'm talking about when they're still in the incubator.
Yeah.
When they are mid-metamorphosis, before they've made it to the point where they can be completely certain about what they are and what they mean to the world, they have so much outside input that they can't help but to feed into. Before, like when it was, you ain't that, well, I'm probably older than you than I would like to consider. But all we had to worry about was the kids in our school and the people we lived around.
Yeah.
We had to ignore them. You know what I'm saying?
But they could be toxic. They could be very thrilling. And I'm telling you, get around the wrong batch. It don't matter if it's virtual or in person. If you got around a bad batch of people or a person, that source could really like, hey man, what you doing that weekend? Nah, man, pull up. Man, you pull up and you find yourself in a situation like, man, where am I at? Man, this what we doing. We about to rob somebody. We about to do this. We about to do that. Man, shut up, nigga. You like, all right, I'll do that. All right, that's the same situation to where now virtual, they're being affected. They're being bullied. And I'm not condoning none of that. Yeah. It's always been here.
But the bully and how we overcame the bully in our time was just stand up to him, hit him in the mouth, and you know what I mean?
And hope he don't hit you back or throw something back.
Just let him know he was in a fight too.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Now you can't hit these people in the mouth.
No.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They not there presently for you to hit them in the mouth, so they just kind of linger around, affecting these children emotionally, mentally, which probably will have more adverse effect on them in the long run than the physical abuse would have.
Who's to say?
No one. That's why we were pontificating.
Yes. I'm saying, both are bad. But when you start to realize, it's like, all right, because something that's been on my timeline mentally, that's been in my zeitgeist,
Okay.
so to speak. And it's about parenting.
Mm.
How I was raised is completely different than how I can raise my children.
Okay.
Point being, if I decide to punish my children in a more corporal way,
Mm-hmm.
and there's any type of signs, bruises, scratches,
Mm-hmm.
that person, hey, so-and-so, what happened to you? Oh, last night I dropped a fork in my parents, da-da-da-da-da.
Mm.
Or I talk back.
Mm-hmm.
Or you call my mama, and my mama blase blah to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do that today. The mama, I don't know where they got it in other states. Or,
They got it.
Defects.
They got
They
it.
coming to get you.
It's
I mean, I seen some on social media, bro, where I seen a parent punish her child.
Mm-hmm. How?
With a belt.
Okay.
And I'm looking, I'm like, she got locked up, lost a job, lost everything.
Was there restraint during this punishment?
I will say as least as possible, because I wouldn't want somebody to take what I say and to say I feel that she was right or to feel that she was wrong.
Okay.
What I'm
So
doing,
it's something that you had to endure as a child.
I went through it myself.
Gotcha.
And I turned out like this.
That's right. Okay, gotcha.
And what I believe in is, if you do not invest in your children and you allow an app or a tablet to invest in your children, that's the virtual side. Right. Hey, if you don't invest in your children, that person, that place, or that thing, which is a noun, will have lasting impact on your children. What do you mean? If you don't know what your daughter doing, big dog, you can't get mad if she don't pop up. You know what I'm saying? So for me, how we tap into our children matters. And how you do it in your household. Sometimes some kids will do certain things that you'll have to say, like, it ain't nowhere in the world that somebody is disciplining them in a way that they need to. And I'm not sitting up here saying you need to use any type of things to discipline, because everybody has to be parented.
Every parent know how you need to discipline your child. Every parent know what it takes to get through to your child.
But certain parents aren't doing that.
Right.
And I'm not saying using bodily harm. Some parents are not even checking in.
Right.
And their children are checked out.
Right.
It's like, hey man, hey. In my household, my children already know, if you close a door, we don't close doors around here unless you are in the restroom and you asking for privacy. And even that has a timetable. I'm looking at that door get closed. You probably got 5 to 8 minutes. What you doing in there? Hey, Open up this door. You feel? That's how I was raised.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
And I say this: if you keep locking this door, in the famous words of my dad, I'm gonna take the whole door down. I will unscrew every screw, take it off, and it'd be hard for you.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
For sure.
Because that is the rights of a homeowner.
I'm trying to tell you. For sure.
That's the rights of a homeowner. Now, I've heard you say before that hitting rock bottom helped you turn your life around.
For sure.
What advice would you have for kids who feel like they're hitting rock bottom?
What you call it, a spectacle on a grand scheme of things? Like, even in that situation where I told you I was incarcerated.
Is that your rock bottom?
One of them.
Okay.
As you know, in life, you got ebbs and flows.
You can find a new bottom.
Yeah, a new body. You said, damn, you can't get no worse than this. And then God say, hold on, watch this. You think this low? Man, don't even worry about it, bit, bro. Watch this. Hold my bill. Hold my wine. My libation. But it's one of them things that, even in that dynamic, humans, not just children or adults, you have to realize your biggest scar can end up being your biggest star. And it's no losses. It's like, what is this situation trying to teach me? You feel me? Being around these people, being on these type of in these situations, what I have to learn something, or I'm being taught this, no matter how low it is. And if you learn it, it's not as bad as you making it seem. I used to have a coach, man, that told me, no matter what it is, it translates to so many different facets of life. It's not as bad as you make it seem, and it's not always as good as you make it seem.
Right.
Just stay even keel. And when you take yourself out of that situation, it's like, man, I done lost everything. What you lost? Your car? It's okay, bro. You'll figure it out. Hey, man, I done lost my house. Yeah, that's tough, but we can figure this out.
Yeah.
And as long as you got the heart or the desire to keep going, you'll realize that maybe you didn't even need that for your new mountain that you could potentially climb and get to the top of.
Man, that's real. And you talked about, the experience that you had in Florida, and just me, being a fan. I know that inevitably led you to making it to become a War Eagle.
Yeah.
How did that change your career and impact you?
Well, my journey was different. Like for Auburn, I couldn't just transfer Florida and then transfer to Auburn. We didn't have the luxury of having a transfer portal as athletes have today.
Oh, it changed.
It never was. It wasn't even a thought.
No, I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, so the way what you had to endure, it's different now.
It's completely different. Okay. It's like if I go to Clark, I can transfer to Morehouse and play next year. If I'm at Auburn, I can transfer to Alabama and play next year. If I'm at Georgia, I can go to Georgia Tech and play next year. Well, what
year that changed?
3 years. Right. Well,
so about the same time as they introduced the NIL?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
The transfer portal is a real game changer. And I do believe that this is in the best interest of the players to a degree. But as everything, if taken advantage of the right way, it's a good thing. But taken advantage of in the wrong way can become a crutch. But for me, in my situation, I had to go to junior college.
Okay.
And without even too much knowing everything about junior college, the typical stereotype about an athlete in junior college, either you wasn't good enough or you did something bad to be in this situation.
Right.
I was a little bit of both.
Got it.
In some type of dynamic. And
who was the quarterback when you was at Florida?
Tebow.
So Tebow was keeping you from playing?
Some would say. But I could tell my kids that I was backing up arguably one of the best, if not the best to some people's eyes, college player of all time.
Okay.
You may not agree.
I mean,
you may agree.
This is what I'm saying. I don't have enough research on Tebow to be able to say.
I do.
Okay.
And that's why I used.
Did you practice with him?
I did. I was around Tebow every day for 2 years.
Okay. So your experiences with him and you sharing that with me, it definitely enlightens me more than my firsthand knowledge.
His impact as a collegiate athlete hit a stratosphere not a lot of athletes can even scratch. And that's why I say arguably. Because some could argue that he's not, and some could argue that he is. I've never really seen a player at that age or even experience the type of aura that came with a college athlete. It wasn't no secret where he was, because everywhere he was, it was a big deal.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so when you became a War Eagle, you took that with you. When you went to Auburn, you took that.
I would have been a fool not to.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And and those are the things that I even challenge anybody going through something where you're at a job and you have to leave a job to go. Man, learn. Like, take what Tip has done. Take what Cam has done. You may not even mimic it, but take it and put it your own spin.
Even if you learn what not to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that for me, I would have been a fool. I had the ability to be around so many skillful athletes, especially at a young age. I graduated high school early.
How early?
A semester early.
Okay, got it.
And I went to Gainesville, Florida, where University of Florida was, and I was 17 years old in college. And right before my birthday, like I was experiencing so much. Man, that was the first time I was around Caucasians on a regular basis that we were in some way, shape, form equal. Being in Atlanta, on the south side of Atlanta, the only time you experience or you come into contact with a Caucasian is because that Caucasian is in a senior position, a teacher, a coach, an officer. So now I'm walking around white people as teammates. Like, I don't know how to interact
That
with
was your
them.
first time having white people as
At
teammates?
17 years old, bro. 17 years of my life, I never came in contact. It was weird. So it'd be crazy to me when people be saying, this person is racist or this, that, and the third. I'm saying that person just don't know, because when you really talk to people and you start to say, when was the first time you came into contact on a regular basis with a person that didn't match your gender, your race, your ethnicity, your religion, all in the melting pot, and you will be shocked at what you find. As a matter of fact, I would ask you.
What?
The same question. When was the first time? At what age, when you was around differences outside of African American?
I went to Woodland Middle School, and it was a bunch of others there. You had 2-3 white people, and you had a handful of others.
Well, how old? Like middle school, that's 13?
6, 7, 8 grade. But I didn't play no sports.
Yeah.
This is just in school and class and whatnot. Now, those the others, you know, they didn't socialize with us much. And, you know, they were often the butt of jokes, and people would pick on them. And I find myself, man, leave them alone type shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it wasn't until I went to Riverdale. Now, when I went to Riverdale, this was 8th grade. I went to Riverdale 8th grade. Now, that put me around a lot of different...
more others.
Yeah, more others and more Europeans. But it didn't feel the same because we still had our community. So it was probably like, let's just say 45% black, 35% white, and maybe, you know, 20% others. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was 100% black from elementary school, middle school, high school. All I knew was black. Well, the word nigga was so loosely used that it was almost a part of people's vocabulary and vernacular. Even the teachers would, hey, turn around, niggas. Hey, look, right here. Like it wasn't even nothing to be embarrassed about. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, when I went to...
I don't think people outside of our community understand how...
You're screwed!
How loosely we use the word nigga.
Bruh, like nigga is so much, like, it's one of them things. But when I go to the next level, I had a strength coach, Mick, I forgot, Coach Mick. And I didn't know no better. I'm a nigga from Atlanta. You feel me? Shouting and capping and partner. Like, nigga, I exuded Atlanta. But you dress different, bro. Like, where the hell you from? Man, y'all niggas from Atlanta. You're weird. Y'all skating all the time. Like, you AT&Ti niggas, man. Y'all, you know what I mean? But what it taught me was having more of an open eye to certain things. Coach Mick told us, we was in the weight room one day. And he said, you never want to use words that other people around you cannot use. And
why is that though?
Because as a Caucasian man, he's giving me insight that I didn't necessarily know. That how does it make the white man feel when a bunch of African Americans saying, hey, nigga, hey, man, come here real quick. And some will say, why should we care what they feel? But in a professional sense, you've done deals all the time.
Of course I have.
Have you ever used that vernacular in that type of dynamic when you're dealing with the others?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying that it was to my advantage or whether it was to my detriment. But what I will say, there is a freedom in being able to live and speak and behave as you are without worrying about how it impacts others.
Can I make that right?
Because nobody's doing that for us.
They're not.
You feel me?
But we also have to play by rules that are different than others.
This is true.
To what I would say is this. I was considered a franchise quarterback.
Yes, you were.
You being a musical artist, there's a lifestyle that is kind of okay. That's T.I.
Yeah.
That's
this is true.
That smell, that's T.I.
This is true.
Hey, those words, man, he got a plethora of that's T.I.
That's right.
Well, for Cam Newton, if I'm trying to get drafted and I smell a certain type of way,
this is true,
and I'm talking a certain type of way, we about to give this person potentially $30 million. This is going to be the person in the forefront representing our franchise. So some would say, that nigga cooning or he's switching up. It's like, no. You don't understand what's at stake here.
You're doing what's necessary. You're doing what's necessary to secure the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it's important for you to gain that opportunity because now if you do right by that opportunity, you can open up the door.
For everybody to say nigga as much as they want.
You think this?
Tell me, how do you feel like, because what you're explaining is a dichotomy. A dichotomy. You having the upbringing of being around Black people in a Black community, how it shaped you and the lessons you've learned from it, and then placing yourself in the midst of a community where you had to alter that and kind of spoon feed that as they could understand or be comfortable with it. Did you ever get tired of doing that? Did that become a challenge within itself?
Yes, it did. Hence to why I have grew my hair out now. Because it's not a measure of rebelliousness or being an outlaw. It's more or less being relatable to the people that's from where I'm from.
And also a freedom. Freedom that you don't have to check those boxes anymore.
But to encourage others that, hey, you can still be cultured and understand when you need to cut the volume up and it's acceptable. And sometimes not cutting it off, but just, hey,
tune it down.
So you can secure something.
That's right.
Because even though you may say they don't have to do it, they do it. They don't always have those conversations around you.
That's right.
That don't mean that they're not having them.
That's right.
So we all playing the game. You just got to understand the rules of the game and play it to your advantage.
Yeah. You think you can play now?
I know I can play.
You can play right now.
Bro, I said it before.
I don't think you can.
It ain't 32 quarterbacks that I feel confident in saying that, like, bro, all 32 better than me. Yeah. With the right, all I was asking when I got a call to see, hey, would you consider being a backup? I said, for who? I don't get to say for who. And then when they told me who, I was like, bro, I'm
better than him, basically.
I know I'm better. Just allow us to compete.
I know, physically, you in shape and you could probably run and you could probably take the hits or what have you. But is your accuracy throwing the football still the same? Why y'all
gotta say that about a nigga?
I'm just asking the question. I'm saying it about a human being who has not been throwing the football on Sunday for how many years now? That's my question.
Let me deflect real quick. If you were talking to Matt Ryan,
I would have asked Kirk Cousins the same motherfucking thing.
Cause listen, because I'm telling you, both of our businesses is in close proximity of their dome. And it's impacted by what Kirk Cousins does.
That's right. Yes,
So
sir.
nowadays, I be really rooting for Kirk Cole to do something because when the doggone Falcons lose, it affects my business.
Everybody go home.
I'm like, no, I want to see a playoff game, bro. Man, listen. When Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Roddy White had Atlanta, like,
that shit with Jeff.
I hated y'all because we was in a division.
That shit with Jeff.
Because what people didn't know, in 2015, that was Carolina's year. Well, 2016, that was the Falcons' year. And it was like everything that we did, the Falcons kind of doubled up. We went 15-1, lost to the Falcons, which I was like, what? How we lose to Atlanta out of all teams? They followed.
You said that from being somebody from Atlanta.
Man, I hated Atlanta. But it was the Warriors mentality though. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like if you a rapper and it wasn't the hate as malicious, it was competitive.
It kind of like when Tupac had to go against the East Coast, but he was really from the Bronx.
Hello, people don't know that. Yeah. But yes, it's the same way. So competitive drive trains you to hate the ops, so to speak. Right. But it was always respect, right? So when we had that 2015 year when we went to the Super Bowl, matter of fact, I was in the hospital. My daughter, Sovereign Dior Cambella, was born the day that the Falcons played the Patriots. And boy, Piedmont Hospital, boy, everybody was excited. And I was like, boy.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl, bro.
Do we have to talk about this
on camera? Because it was...
Because I was in Houston.
It was a battle.
I was in the action. I was in the building.
Because I was praying. And it was like God said, no, don't worry about it. I got you, bro. I said, bro, 28-3. Boy, I'll never live this down. Because I still went to my same spot. I'm from the South Side. In the off season, I would always come back, come see family, whatever. And they would always give me flack. Yeah, how about, who they, obviously with New Orleans, and then the Birds, and rise up, and sit your ass down. And then in that hospital room, my daughter was just born. I was saying to myself, bro, I cannot stand the Falcons winning the Super Bowl before me.
Man, what?
And then insert Tom Brady in the meme when he was on the bench. And my boy, I had hit that Buffalo Wild Wings button. And he handled that for me. You feel?
Man, God. So you are to blame.
No. Because when I pressed the button, the button had came back and said, there's thousands of people that have already pressed the button before you. So I was like, hell.
Hey, man. Well, all that disappointment aside, your podcast, Funky Friday with Cam Newton, is doing great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you decide what guests to invite?
You know what's crazy? I was inviting any and everybody because I needed the reps. And I wanted to show that it was more to me than football. So these type of dynamics and dialogues, I feel extremely comfortable with having. I didn't think people took me serious enough to be able to stand or sit knee to knee across from a person for hours at a time, having a very impactful conversation.
Okay.
And now today it's a destination spot for so many people.
Absolutely.
What I hate about it is I want my platform to be an unveiling of an individual that they may not have known. And sometimes they come on my platform and they sell something. Or they want people to know, hey, I got a book. Hey, I got an album. Hey, I'm doing this. And I'm like, man, nigga, okay, we can do that. But what about this that happened? Because I need to understand, like, I want to know about Tip, the father, the Tip, the businessman.
The conversation has to carry.
It had been, and sometimes the platform is impacted because people don't lean into really what's being asked.
Right.
So even though we will highlight projects, the intentions for a person now comes, I want to highlight this, rather than saying, hey, let's just have an intellectual conversation.
Yeah. So there was a moment, man. I've been on your show, bro. I've been on your show, and I enjoyed myself.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed myself. And I think that you have embraced the challenges that come with being, I guess, for lack of better words, a journalist.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
A member of the media.
Yeah, a member of the media. Which we are essential workers.
Yes, sir.
That's how I could get out my house and move around when no traffic and during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Because we are essential workers. And I saw an episode of your podcast where you were interviewing with a gentleman and you were prompting him to do something, and then he was like, "Nah, I can't do that because that's a sign for some kind of
the mark of the beast."
Yeah, that's what he I looked and I was taken aback, and I had
perplexed.
Yeah, but at the same time I was drawn in. I was intrigued, and my question to you: how did you feel in that moment? And second question: did you know that this was the mark of the beast beforehand?
First off, the individual is Jason Wilson.
Jason Wilson,
and he's a good brother.
He is.
I hate what happened because it now shifted the narrative or distracted the narrative to make people think something that was absolutely not true.
Right.
I just told you, I come from church.
Right.
I'm dipped in the blood. Which
is why I asked how you felt.
That's what I felt disappointed. Because even then, if it doesn't question my religion or my sexuality, I then have the right to say, hold on, Tip. What you got to do in here? If you explain it and your intentions match what I'm willing to do, I will do it. When I told him and I explained to him, he was very versed with what he knew or he thought it to be, but I'm saying this is not my intentions.
I understood.
And now you have the narrative being manipulated in people's minds, especially given the climate of being a successful individual in this world. Oh, that's the Illuminati. Oh, that's the devil. He a devil worshiper. Look at his hair. Look at that. Like, bro,
what does the hair got to do with devil? I've seen a lot of devil. I've seen a lot of comparisons to devil worship. I've never seen the hair.
You would be surprised because some would say it's horns. Bro, it's so crazy to think that individuals will go to that extreme to prove a point, and you can make it. It's almost like a conspiracy theory. You can make somebody think that, hey man, hold on, he has been doing that for a long time, bro. He is.
I couldn't even remember. Did I do it?
You definitely did.
I did it.
But it was a sign of
I
love.
rebuked thee. Look, you hear me? If that was the case, I rebuked thee.
But hear this.
Under my feet, Beelzebub.
Yes.
You hear me?
But hear this stuff. My intentions was this is the universal sign of love. I'm a lover.
Okay.
I think for us in this realm, even as Black people, if we loved like we hated, what would that look like?
Yeah.
So every signature under Instagram, every signature under my emails, it's always one love.
Now let me ask you this. Is that the only sign of love?
It's one of the signs of love.
Okay. Now, since you have experienced that and learned that, did you change what you have done?
Absolutely not.
You haven't changed.
Because that's still my intentions. Anytime I pose for people, it's love. It's not, and he corrected it because he made content because it was getting so noisy where it's like, explain this. And he explained, well, the mark of the beast is not including the thumb. And that's how I'm like, man.
Well, to be honest with you, if you do it without including the thumb, that's
Houston.
Yeah. That's a sign for Houston.
So everybody in Houston devil
and the Longhorn.
The Longhorn, hook them home. Like so, bro, it's like, what's your intentions though? Yeah. And if I'm talking to you as a man and you tell me your intentions is this, that's what it is.
Right.
But I respected him and said, hey, bro, I'll do it. I don't want you to be uncomfortable.
Right.
But you know, if my intent isn't to harm, suppress, degrade, or disrespect, then what we talking about? And we've had conversations out after.
You spoken sense.
Multiple times.
Where does he stand on the matter now?
We never talked about it. I still respect him.
He's a stand-up gentleman.
No, for sure. But
I think to have him on my show. He's a stand-up gentleman.
And I will make that happen. I will do my part in making that connection happen.
Right.
And that's just the type of person that I am.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I just hate that it could have been silenced or suppressed by him just saying, I know Cam is not a devil worshiper. Let's just put that out there. If that comes from the person who also was concerned, now you have an audience of people that you can see or may not see that now understands.
Anyone with the spirit of discernment will be able to ascertain whether or not they're around someone.
Yes, sir.
That has a demon worshiping spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But would you know though?
Well, the only way I feel you may be confused is if, and I see this a lot of people who grow up with very, very, how can you say, modest means. A lot of people who have been at a point where they have been the have-nots for a long time. And they look out and they see a lot of people who have, a lot of those people who have, they figure out ways to say, okay, these people have, and
because
the only reason they have and I don't, it got to be because they're doing these things.
Yes. That I'm not willing to do.
Now, sometimes they may be correct. There may be instances and examples where they can point to where they will say, this is an example of why I'm not where they are. There are exceptions to every rule. You know what I mean? I think that spirit of discernment must kick in for you to exercise where the exception may exist. And I'm not saying that was his circumstances. I'm just saying in my experiences, I've seen where people have allowed their circumstances to, I guess, determine or cause them to determine why other people are in greater positions than they are.
That's a fact. But what I would say to that is this. My mother, who is my earthly angel, she would always say, she would pray over us before we go to school. God, Mama, I gotta go. And she would say, son, favor ain't fair. You are living the blessings that people prayed over you and for you. Don't take that lightly. So even though a person may not ever see me talk to my Heavenly Father, that don't mean it ain't happening.
It's real.
And certain times, as you know, being in this limelight or being in the industry, it's easy to kind of get drawn away. And you start to say, like, bro, I'm doing a lot, but I ain't doing that. You see what I'm saying? Like it's been time like, man, bro, what y'all got going on, man? What is this? And I'm the guy that will respectfully, I'm cool with being around family. Like I'm cool with just doing the normal stuff, and people see it, and it's like, nigga, what you doing in Publix? And I flip it on them.
I get that.
What you doing in Publix?
I get that at the gas station a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People think our celebrities aren't supposed to pump gas. They think that we just,
Let me ask you.
Our tanks just get filled up all of a sudden.
What's the biggest misconception of Tip Harris?
The biggest misconception. I think that I don't smile, that I don't laugh, that, that I'm always serious. I think it's a lot of them, bro. I think that people kind of they receive us in a way that they kind of put us in a box. You know what I mean? It's kind of as they are introduced to us. For instance, for you, it would be a football player. Someone receives you as a football player, they put you in that box.
All you do is football stuff.
You do football stuff. If you get to stepping out, and for lack of a better word, for lack of a better example, if you chose to, I don't know, man, be a model, or if you chose to be an actor, well, acting kind of goes with football. If you chose to do something outside of the scope,
the normal expectations of a football player,
then they would be like, man, I don't know, you good at football, but can you do this? Like me with comedy. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, man, whether I'm good at it or not.
How do you get good at something if you don't
do it? But why are you the determining factor of whether or not I should choose to explore it? You can't tell me what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? All you could do is observe what I choose to do. Mm-hmm. And I think that to me is and a lot of people get stuck in that box. Because a lot of people become fearful of what others will what their comments will be. And I think that people like us are the ones that break the mold and say, man, we're going to do what the fuck we want to do, regardless of how you feel. So I think that's why people like you are important. I also wanted to speak about you've been very, very hands-on in the community in building and shaping opportunities for young people in sports. There was a 7-on-7 tournament that kind of took a left turn.
All the way left.
God. Man, can you talk to us about what happened there and what provisions have been put in place to prevent it from happening again?
Well, bro, what people didn't know, those were grown men. Like, and what people didn't know, I knew exactly who it was.
You did?
Like, they helped me in my 707 program. Mm-hmm. And in that type of dynamic, I'm happy that nothing else came from that, because where we're from, that's just the beginning,
right?
Not the end,
right?
And I'm grateful that nothing else came from that. I wish Steph and TJ nothing but success. I always wish them success. I think what happened that specific day was alpha men, coming to a disagreement.
Right.
And it's almost like keeping the bowl of noodles on the stove too long.
Yeah.
The pot
boiled over.
Was boiling over.
Right.
And since then, we've spoken, and it's been nothing but love and respect.
What caused it to get to that point?
Well, they decided to start their own 707 program. And I'm a football player. I'm a troll. And we playing spades. I'm going to tell you something about yourself just to get you to throw that 9 of spades rather than that jack of spades.
I have experienced this.
So I need to let my 10 walk. So I'm literally going to tell...
Get in your head, take you out your game.
Brother, I got my PhD in smack talk. You feel me? So when I'm seeing certain things happen, I wasn't even playing, but I knew I would have to play them.
Right.
And one thing...
When you say you weren't playing, you mean
my team wasn't playing. I was just observing, just trolling.
Yeah.
They said certain things, I said certain things. And then one thing led to the other, and it was like all right, bet. And what happens when 2 cobras or 2 lions meet? Somebody gonna blink. Right. Somebody gonna flinch.
Right.
But from that dynamic, it told me, and it was a reminder that...
But it was more than one. It was more than one that blinked.
It was. We was blinking.
Yeah, it was about 4 folk blinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You counted 4?
I counted 4.
Oh.
Accounted for.
But I don't want to.
Yeah, we ain't got to do that. We ain't got to do that.
We blinked and it was over.
Yeah.
But the reality of it was this. I could have been better in that dynamic because I understand.
Did y'all talk with the kids afterwards?
No.
Damn.
I talked not together.
Okay.
I think now looking back, I wish as men, it would have been like, hey, nah, nigga, come on. Because whatever's going to be, cut that phone, hey, let's go back in this room. Whatever going to happen in that room, going to happen in that room.
Right.
But when we leave that room, it's going to be left in that room.
We don't live in that age where that is still possible.
True. Sometimes.
Right.
Because I got plenty of questions for me as an observer to you.
Mm-hmm.
But to that point, it's still not to negate what good that they did or they do with their platform.
Definitely not.
So they've impacted youth members in football the same way as I.
Right.
And who am I to tell anybody to say, oh man, no, bro. We are both passionate. All of us, all parties are passionate of what they do. And it led to that, embarrassingly admitting. But I'm grateful that nobody was hurt. And
you got past it.
And got past it. Now, the thing is, for them, they still are doing and making an impact in their community. And whether they want to believe it or not, I've directed people to them. Because you don't need to know that I did it. Just understand I don't have nothing but love for you, bro. Even if it ain't, if it's not with me.
Have y'all teams ever played?
Yes.
Y'all teams ever played?
Yes.
All right.
They won.
Yeah, they won.
They won. Okay. But they was, the dynamic is this. It's almost
did y'all shake hands at the end of the game?
It was respectful, bro. It was just one of those dynamics that it's all in sport.
Freak accident.
It was a blink.
Okay, cool.
Can I ask my question?
Go ahead.
What you think about the state of music right now?
What do I think about the state of music?
More specifically in Atlanta.
I think that the state of music in Atlanta is experiencing the best of times and the worst of times.
What makes it the best?
I mean, it makes it the best that people are evolving and free to explore the height of their creativity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they have the technology and they collaborate together. And see, back when I feel like when I was doing it, it was only one of us at the top at a time. Like when I was on top, Killer Mike wasn't necessarily in the position that he was in.
During that time, I would say, because you was a part of my high school dynamic. It was T.I., Jeezy, Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That run right there. You underground, you had the Shawty Lows, the Pastor Troys, the OGs.
Well, Pastor Troy came before us.
Yeah, but even before that dynamic, you had Goody Mob, you had Dungeon Family.
Right.
Like Future wasn't even a thing, not in high school, not my experience.
He wasn't, but he was because that's Rico Wade, look good.
Yes, yeah. But that wasn't even thought of. Like that was during the time Wayne was mixtape Wayne, and that the body of music, it was a mixtape era.
Right.
So when I graduated high school in 2007, so music sound different. It was trap music, and that trap sound was being celebrated, and it was a newness in the industry.
Right.
To educate people, but go ahead.
Now, I think that when we get into that era, in comparison to right now, when you look at like Thug and Savage and Lil Baby and like how they kind of created their own realm, they have like they got it's a fucking subsidiary of them, and they personally support each other. You know what I mean? And it's genuine. That didn't exist back when I was having my moment. The motherfuckers who was around me was the motherfuckers who I was selling dope with. You know what I mean? So but now the good part about that, we were able to come up together and come from doing what we were doing and make it into doing something positive. So I think those are the differences in then and now.
I think history seems to repeat itself because for educational purposes, I will mention I was from the Atlanta that Gucci and Jeezy, it wasn't safe to be in the same place if they were together or around. When T.I. and Shawty Low, it was not. When look,
and well, we were different.
But this is what I'm saying.
Me and Low was a little different. Like we never. I mean, I'm gonna tell you a story. Okay, so there, and you can probably find footage of this. Shawty Low and I.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Long live Low, King of Bankhead. We were in a award show. I think it was called the Dirty Awards. Mm-hmm. We were both there. We both performed. I believe we both were nominated and we both won. Something happened during a performance where a fight broke out, right? There was a fight broke out. They shut the award show down, and it was our people and their people.
Against each other?
Against each other, yes. Okay. Fight. So they removed me, put me in a safe place. Obviously, they removed him, put him in a safe place. What do you know? We end up in the same place together.
At the same time. Oh my God.
They put us right next to each other.
What you doing here?
You know what I'm saying? While our people out there tearing the whole motherfucker up.
Tasmanian devils.
Yeah.
Everybody blinking.
And we sitting there having a conversation about who we thought would come out on top. You know what I'm saying?
Lying.
I'm telling you the God's honest truth, bro. It was like, I mean, of course, we speaking
like me and you.
Yes, just like this. Like, man, shit, man. I guess I'm gonna go to the club. Y'all going to the hospital, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like that type shit. You know what I mean? Like, man, I hope y'all ain't have to go take no pictures when y'all leave here. You know, that type shit, man.
Right.
But we were doing it with, like, just talking shit to one another. And Low is the most respectable opponent I think I've ever had in this shit. We've talked on the phone several times. We became neighbors later on after everything has subsided. And that shit it wasn't that serious for he and I.
Okay.
I feel like for him, it was about him being acknowledged when he thought that I didn't. But what he didn't know, I was really remaining true to my roots as an MC.
Yes, sir.
And they reached out for me to do something with, I think, D4L, when as an MC, the skill set didn't reach a bar that I felt like was appropriate for me to be involved with. Now, hindsight, what I should have considered is the cultural impact of what they were doing outside of just the lyricism and the skill set of it all. But that's neither here nor there, because we also, Low and I, have an experience where when he was doing what he was doing before he became Shawty Low, and I was doing what I was doing before I became T.I., mm-hmm. he was the big dog. Mm-hmm. And I approached him, and he, much to his ability to do, used his discernment and was like, you ain't ready yet. He didn't remember that. And I accepted that, and I went on about my business, you know what I'm saying, and became T.I. So when we met again, he didn't know I was the same person.
Did you ever have that conversation with him?
Man, we hinted towards it.
But you never
not a specific. I didn't specifically tell him that you were the same one that told me to get my weight up when I rolled off on my bicycle.
But this was Rubber Band Man.
When?
Or Trouble Man.
Nah, this was when
T.I.
When?
Or Tip. Like I'm trying to, cause nigga, you done been in the game for so long.
I'm talking 98.
Say less.
I'm talking 98.
This is way
before I ever got a record deal or anything. This is back when I was on South Grand Bankhead, buying an ounce at a time and trying to make my way before I even knew where a studio was.
For sure.
And Lowe was the man already. You know what I mean? He was Carlos at the time. He was the man already. And I pulled up on him and he was gambling. And I put up on him trying to get put on. Mm-hmm. And I said the same thing that every Atlanta nigga say when he trying to get, he trying to get you to do something for him. I was like, shit, man, fuck with me.
Maybe a whole song.
Fuck with me. And then, he was like, shit, what you doing? I was like, man, shit, what I'm doing about an ounce or two in a baby or something. And that nigga said, shit, shawty, get your weight up. You know what I mean?
Just proceeded.
You know what I mean? And I looked, I'm like, And I just got back on my bike and rolled off. You feel me? Yeah. And then when Clay brought the record to me, now true enough, I felt how I felt about the record. But when I found out that was the same person that told me to get my weight up, I didn't hesitate to tell him the same thing. You know what I mean? And that's what led to that what led to the whole kerfuffle in the first place. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I could, but praise God that he said what he said when he did. Because if he would have did what I asked him to do, I probably wouldn't be sitting before you today in the position that I'm in.
No.
Did you ever join a fraternity or something when you was in college?
I did.
Which one?
Me, Fi Me.
Yeah, that's the one I mean.
You think what I'm saying?
That's the one I mean. Me, Fi Me.
Me, Fi Me.
All we know is us.
Unincorporated. you dig what I'm saying?
Hey, nothing over, nothing under, nothing in between. Hey, you understand that?
Ask this question from the people who know about certain situations, but don't know the intricacies or the details of the situation.
Sure.
I'm young enough to understand, or old enough to understand, there was a beef between T.I. and Lil Flip.
I mean, I guess. Man, to be honest with you, that was a situation that had transpired while I was incarcerated. So when I made the determination or made the decision to call myself the King of the South, that ruffled some feathers of some of my peers. Mm-hmm. However, all of my predecessors and people who could actually have a reason to be offended were not offended for whatever reason. I don't know why. Because what my peers didn't know is that I had taken the time to go to each of my predecessors that I had access to and ask them, for lack of better words, for their blessings for me to call myself the King of the South. Whether it was Big Boy, Andre from Outkast, whether it was Cujo, Timo, Gilp, CeeLo from Good and Mob, whether it was 8 Ball, MJG, whether it was Bun B, who proxied Pimp C's decision or his comment from, he was in prison at the time, but Scarface, like all these people, I went and asked because I cared about their opinion. I didn't just go and blindly say, I'm gonna call myself the King of the South without having any kind of advice being given from the people. No counsel mm-hmm. From people that I grew up respecting and listening to. That's what nobody ever asked me how I came about to making this decision. So they, just let their emotions kind of carry them away into making decisions that came back to not be the best decisions for them.
Mm.
And, they went and said things while I was going through a very tough time in my life. I was in prison. I was in county jail. Yeah, man.
But the reality of pretty much everything with your career, right? You've always navigated to rise above.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You still here.
I had no choice.
You did have a choice.
Nah, man. Not in my eyes. I didn't see no other option. I feel like when you say rise above, it's either rise above or fall below.
And I was asking your son, Damani, this. I was like, bro, do you really know who your dad is? Because, like, to me, when we
he
first
knows me as dad.
That's facts.
Yeah.
But I was trying to educate him when he came on Funky Friday, as I am a fan of him, and just trying to say, like, bro, I meant everything. It's a homage when I'm in people's presence that I respected and I looked up to.
Likewise.
And when you listen to a person for years and you start saying, like, yo, like, that's how certain people kind of treat you. It's like, bro, when you hot, like when you drop Paper Trails, I was in college. Everybody was bumping Paper Trail. Everybody was bumping King. Everybody was bumping PSC, what's happening? Like all these different things. Your success impacted me because I was from where you was from. You feel what I'm saying? And indirectly, you helped me. So in the state of music right now, beefs aren't no new thing in no city.
In my era, they weren't a new thing.
But it's still not a new thing now.
Nah.
When you see the dynamic of Gunna, Thug, Savage, Future, it's so many like Offset.
What Future come in at?
Bro, I just seen this today. I didn't know Savage and Future was beefing.
I didn't know that either. I had no idea.
Am I tripping?
For real? I ain't know that either.
Me neither. Man, bro, I'm telling you, the zeitgeist, it'd be like, nigga, I'm going to Expeditiously, so let me pump Cam's thread with all artist information.
I don't even think I would have to see that. I have to because I've been around.
No, they squashed it though. They squashed it publicly.
Well, that was fast.
That's what I'm saying. I did not know.
Thank God.
But it was this though. It was like when you see those things happen, I didn't necessarily know that it was a disagreement.
But see, that's why I stay off social media. I don't even deal with it.
Cool.
I don't even deal with it because when you get the news will get to you and you'll be all kind of consumed with it, and before you know it, it's gone.
It's gone. But where we are in Atlanta, I'm also old enough to understand that this, whether it's beef or disagreements, my partner 2 Chainz, him and Ludacris. When you start to see Rollo and I don't know who it may be, it's so many different, dare I say, characters or in people that are involved with disagreements. You got YFN Lucci, and it's so much, and it's like, yo, bro, why can't we all collaborate to working together rather than having differences?
Well, I think it will have to depend on whether or not our principles are aligned.
But as an OG, you have the power.
No, I don't.
No, but here, let me finish.
No, I don't.
Let me finish.
I don't have that kind of power.
But I'm saying, if you were to say, sir, you can counsel individuals
if they are willing to be counseled, if they are open to certain counsel, but at the same time, I can't suggest for someone to do something that I would not do.
And what wouldn't you do?
I would not put myself in a collaboration with someone whose principles don't align with mine.
Now you have a way of words. Can you put that in layman's terms for me?
I mean, man, you know what I'm saying? We have integrity as men. Mm-hmm. We have moral standards and we have principles. And we may have something in common. For instance, we may, I don't know, all right, we make music. Yeah, we make music, but we can make music just as well individually as we can collectively. If I choose to make music with you collectively, I want to make music with somebody who align with my principles. I don't want to step outside my principles just to make music, because I can make music on my own, keeping my principles intact.
Understood.
And that don't mean that I mean this person no harm, or that don't mean that you know what I mean? It just mean I just might not want to do that.
What's different in the state of how things are with the connection with the culture, the streets, and music that didn't take place when you was making a name for yourself, that you see now, and it's like, that would have never happened during this time, or vice versa?
I don't know if I could say it would have never happened. I could say it never happened. But if it was given the opportunity to happen, it may have happened. Sometimes the reason things ain't happened yet is because the opportunity has never presented itself.
So there's a lot of happened in that one sentence. But collaborating or doing music with a quote unquote snitch. Look, I'm innocent. I just want to know. I'm curious.
You can be. I mean, I think it's stick. You ever seen what you catch a rat with?
Why are you trying to go? I don't know.
That shit sticky, ain't it? And if you touch it, it stick to you. Okay. You feel me?
So you don't operate in that.
Who? I ain't, but it don't apply to me, because I am now graduated to where I'm a taxpaying citizen.
How would you counsel Gunna?
Huh? How would I counsel Gunna?
Yes.
He don't need my counsel, I don't think. I think he first of all, he would have to get to a place where he feels he needs counseling.
Okay.
He don't, but who? We are assuming that he is in a place that he is unhappy.
No. Okay, let's. I'm going to speak as a fan or as an observer to what I think is something.
Mm-hmm.
Gunna has put out a great deal of successful, intriguing music over the last 3 years.
He has.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It has performed well.
It has.
It has been.
And he's also gotten his life in order.
Correct. What seems to be.
It seems to be from the naked eye.
He's marketed in a way where we're not used to a rapper, let alone him, a rapper being marketed.
His lifestyle,
fitness, it's meditation, it's a group, which I commend.
Right.
But even me,
I celebrate that.
Me saying that, he's also the topic of conversation for any person to say what was done, or what we assumed what was done, is breaching the code of ethics.
It was less than savory.
So,
but I don't think it was intentional.
With whether it was intentional or not, that's what I mean by counsel.
Because
in that dynamic,
it's a great that is a line that he didn't. I don't think he intended. I don't think he did what he did with the intention of slamming somebody. So
now this is what I'm asking. This is what I'm asking. And tell me if I'm leaning.
But our intentions don't matter. It's our actions that
what happened. Correct. Yes. So now, knowing that, do you see where it's like, yo, you know what, bro? I want to make everything right, or try to
be honest with you. I'm gonna be always straight. Making it to the point of business and interaction and the point of success that all of us are intending to go to, we all gonna deal with a snitch or a rat or a sucker or a fuck nigga or a less than savory character. We all gonna deal with them on that rise. So if you say this is my stop, when you get, okay, well, I gotta deal with this motherfucker, so I'm gonna stop it right here. That don't help the rest of the people that you're trying to help, whoever that is, like in your family. Now, I'm not gonna do anything that I feel like is going to be, how can I say, detrimental to anything I got going on, anything people around me got going on, anything that I think the decisions kind of have to change with the circumstances. If your circumstances are different, for instance, I ain't selling no dope. I ain't doing no dirt. I ain't got no drugs to sell you. I ain't got no drug to sell you. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't in that life no more. But I still carry the lessons from when I did. So what I'm moving upon is the lessons and the things that I took from me with that life. But presently, I'm a tax-paying citizen. You hear me? So I can sit down with whoever it is. I don't give a damn, Sammy the Bull. I can sit down with you, do an interview with you. I'm not in the mob. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It doesn't affect me in my life right now. And I think that transition is what everyone is having a difficulty separating from themselves from.
I had a conversation with Lucci, and I think the specifics of my curiosity came when, yes, everybody knows what I'm talking about, but avoids being on record by saying certain things. But I would say this: what if Gunna wakes up because he hasn't spoke? He's used
to his advantage.
He has made music, popped out places, but without talking about what people really want to know. Mm-hmm. If he were to say, you know what, I'm going to come on Expeditiously, or I want to come on Funky Friday,
I will welcome him.
And how would that counseling situation be?
I've spoken to Gunna.
Okay.
I've spoken to him. First of all, when the indictment came down, he called me and asked me for a suggestion of what lawyer he should, and I gave him my lawyer. He could not go to Brian Steele. He could not go, I don't believe, to Drew Findley. He couldn't go. So I introduced him to my attorney, which is Steve Sadow. And I introduced him to my attorney. They started talking on their own. And that's when he turned himself in a day or two later. And the next time I talked to him, I believe is, well, I ain't talked to him. I think I talked to my attorney. And he told me that there was some on the table for Gunna to come home. And I was like, well, can you tell me about it? He's like, we couldn't tell me about it. And Gunna couldn't talk to me, but he had to make a decision. I was like, well, what, and I was interested, but I couldn't know any real details. And
if you would have known the details, and the details was what ended up happening.
Had I known that he would have had to verbally and signed to the same questions that were written, I would just make sure that he knew, if you agree to this, you will be met with adverse opinion. People will see you as something you don't want to be seen as. And I feel like, this is just me, my personal opinion of what I know of him, and because I've known him since he was like damn near a teenager. I feel like if I would have, not just me, anybody would have been able to advise him and tell him, he wouldn't have did it. I don't think he would have did it. And I told my attorney the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't understand. He don't come from where we come from.
Absolutely not.
So he don't say, what's the big deal? They can't
You're coming home.
You're coming home. They can't use it against your friend in court, and it's insubmissible. So why does it matter?
It's a win-win.
That's how and I can't argue with him sitting in his seat.
Mm-hmm.
I say, okay. And I broke it down to him this way. I say, well, Steve.
You didn't call him a nigga, did you?
Nah, I didn't. I didn't. But I said, well, Steve, first of all, you got to understand the origins of police. Police, the concept of police men and policing came from when people had to capture, return slaves to plantations and slave owners. So that means the first snitches were people who told on slaves that were running for their freedom. Mm-hmm. Then I had to remind him, I said, also, it is a scientific fact that trauma is passed down through DNA. So if there was a slave that had ran away and had been told on by someone who was his buddy, who he stood next to in the fields, and when he was captured, beat, and brought back, and found out the reason he was caught was because of his friend that was now in the house and not in the field, because of the information he provided, that pain, that betrayal would be passed down generationally through the semen by way of his DNA. So his son, his grandson, his granddaughter, his great-grandson would all
be snitches.
They would feel the impact of him being snitched on. So much to their, like, they don't even know why when they hear about somebody being told on, they just have an adverse reaction to it. See, and that is the reason why that shit impacts us in such a way why we just can't let it go. That's why white folk don't give a damn about who they tell on. They tell them, man, he did it. He did it. He told me to do it. I didn't want to do it. I started to, but I didn't. But he did it. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it doesn't impact other ethnicities the way it does us. Because one, policemen were started capturing and returning slaves. Two, trauma is passed down through DNA generationally. That's why we still here talking about why it's so important to not tell on people. That's what I shared with Mr. Sadow. And, he was like, man, he was like, I never thought about it that way. And I had no idea. And
do you think it's worth Thug and Gunna rekindling their relationship?
It's always worth sitting down, having a conversation, figuring out why this relationship might have gotten off track. Mm-hmm. That conversation, if that conversation can put it back on track, it's always worth that conversation. Even if that conversation is not successful, it's worth having that conversation because you never know what can come out of that conversation. It's always worth it. It ain't never a time where you shouldn't sit down and say, okay, where did we go wrong? How could we do better? Steel sharp as steel. There may be some Gunna know that Thug don't, and vice versa. It may be something that Thug can offer that Gunna can't, and vice versa. It's always worthwhile to sit down and hear what anybody got to say as long as they have not been, overtly disrespectful and, what I'm saying, if everybody is willing to sit down with an open mind, it's always valuable. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And at this age, I didn't always feel that.
How long have you felt? When did it hit you?
Probably about 35, 34, 35. It was like after I had gotten out of prison. You know what I'm saying? Going to prison shaped and molded me into a man that I can't even describe to you. It is made. I stopped caring about so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just stopped. I didn't give a damn about, and it just didn't matter to me no more. It just didn't. And I think those things have led to the epiphanies that have led to me being the man that I have become today. Because people walk around caring about all the wrong shit. In my experience. Can I ask you a question?
You can.
Can you tell me how you define mental toughness today compared to earlier?
It's this analogy in sports that who you play.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all won a championship, but who you play?
Okay.
Now, to translate that into real life is you successful, but what you went through.
What have you been tested by?
What you've been tested by.
Mm-hmm.
What did you have to play against to get successful?
Right.
And with that comes a sense of mental toughness that at sometimes your biggest enemy may be internally.
Mm-hmm.
So going through what I went through on the field was not the biggest test for me.
What was?
I don't know if it was one specifically, but it was just at one. It always changes,
Okay.
right? Because at one point it was like, man, I just want to make it. Once you make it, it's just like, okay, now what's now your biggest test? And at one point, it was even harder to do the second achievement, but people do it. It's sustained success. Because to be able to say, hey, yo, like, Cam had one good year. But I'm like,
I don't believe that.
But this is what?
You had an illustrious career.
Illustrious.
Yeah. But I would ask, how do you feel about that career having not won a Super Bowl?
I don't need no Super Bowl.
Okay.
Because now I would say your favorite quarterback, and I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to the audience. Your favorite quarterback don't got my resume. They may have something in their resume that I may not have. But I can also say I got something in my resume that they don't have.
What if their favorite quarterback is Tom Brady?
He don't got no Heisman. He don't got no national championship.
Okay. Poppy.
He won the first pick of the draft.
Poppy kid.
But I want 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I want to be the league's unanimous GOAT. And where I'm at peace.
That's right.
And I think sometimes people get so caught into, it's almost, it turns into greed. It's like, because even
ego,
it's like, what else do you have to prove? Because I would even question Brady, a person who I have so much admiration for. What do you have to prove? And was it all worth it? Not to get personal, but it's like, for me, nobody's perfect.
Nope.
When Brady went on his run, he knew he had to sacrifice things. When I was coming up and playing the game, just like when you were being the best artist, the best movie star that you had to sacrifice certain things. And at some point in those dark times, shiny times, alone times, is it all worth it? That's what you ask yourself. And when you say, yeah, it is worth it, then that's where you can be at peace. That's right. So no matter what somebody else may say and question, like, but you only had one, it's like, bro, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, bro. It ain't a lot of folks that can say that me being able to go to my mama's house is success to me.
Yeah.
My mother will never have to work. She hasn't worked for as long as I could remember.
Right.
And that's success.
Yeah, that's real.
And that
just like I value success as being able to go back to my neighborhood. Being able to go back to the same place I grew up, the same streets I grew up on. I can go back, I can walk around, man. I don't need no security. I
feel safe.
I still in my
and even in that dynamic, some would even say not to name names. Success could also look like an example that you said. I can go back to my hood and even go to somebody else's hood, but they can't come to my hood.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So it's so
I
many.
don't know who you're talking about, but I see what you're saying.
But you understand where I'm at.
I pick it up what you put down.
You dig what I'm saying? So those type of dynamics is where you have to be very comfortable who you are and understand that you can't let a person sway or try to shadow or shade your accomplishments, knowing that, hey, bro, that person's great. That person's great.
Right.
I'm great. And not being delusional to admit that, yo, there are some things in his resume that I wanted, but I didn't necessarily get. And I feel extremely confident that whether he or she has some things that I done did that they can't compare to. So,
how did becoming a father change your view of success and sacrifice?
The day I became a biological father.
Okay.
Changed because now individuals who I felt obligated to no longer was the primary obligation.
Okay.
That's family members.
Right.
That's close friends, loved ones, whatever.
Right.
When I had my first biological child, even though I felt the responsibility to.
Now, when you say biological child, you say that in the sense of like you've had the responsibility of fatherhood far before then.
Yes.
Okay.
But it didn't click then. It was like, yo, I'm still building a relationship with the child, just like I'm building a relationship with the mother. It's working in tandem.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? I took the responsibility, but as far as the full responsibility to say, no, it's my job. It always happened indirectly because of who I am and how I was raised. But when you go through that process of seeing yours I can't say that because you can't tell her that she not mine and I'm.
Nah, I never played the stepdad.
Never did.
I never
and
said
I don't.
stepdaddy and
no
stepfather.
But that's why. But for me, when I had that dynamic that I've seen for myself, it even brought me closer to understanding her, the bonus baby, and my desire to want to take care of everybody kind of shifted. And it's like, no. I got these kids now.
Right.
That my bonus child always gave me the respect as daddy. When she first said it, I was, whoa. I did not tell her to say it. It was her sign of giving me respect is that I'm acknowledging you as the father figure.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying? Now, when I had my first biological child, it now put it to fruition what she was saying. And now I felt even more obligated. Oh, I get it now. So your partner that was like, hey, fool with me.
Right.
Hey, rock with me a bit, bro. Like those conversations wasn't.
You got to take a back seat.
It all the way, Rosa Parks, respectfully. I don't know if I should say that.
She actually sat in the front.
Nah, that's cool. I'm sorry. She
actually sat in the front. But I get what you're saying.
You understand?
I get what you're saying. Now, you and I often get ourselves in hot water online because we have, how do we say, some alternative views when it comes to relationships and how relationship, like, when will Cam Newton like conform to society's expectations of a man with a woman? Or will he ever?
I'm there. Like what?
You there?
Yeah.
Okay, say less.
You feel what I'm saying? Cause
Hey,
like,
say less.
is it? You know, like I like where we at, bro.
Hey, man.
Hey. I don't know what them numbers say, but man, I'm gonna say it like this.
Okay.
Is the objective to be married or is it to be happy? Because just because you married don't mean you happy.
Right.
And just because you happy don't mean that you married.
That's right.
And you said a lot of pontifications and society conforming.
Yeah.
I don't rock.
Because that would get us in the hot water.
That's cool. But
it's really because of what the expectation is.
Man, let me tell you
something. Because how
something.
other people were raised, that's what their expectation of us
let me tell you
is
something.
rooted in.
Let me tell you something, bro. And I give you a personal experience with you. I judge a man on two principles. How his children act and how his woman act without him around. The experience came by way, one of your wife's friends was getting her hair done. They was just walking down the street of one of my restaurants.
Right.
And they pulled up and like, oh, that's Cam's spot. Let's go in here, cool. And I know you, knew you, and knew of you, and knew of who she was. Whether I was judging the situation or not, I think I got an even more fond respect for you by how she carried herself in your absence. You see what I'm saying? So don't tell me that you a real nigga or you a real one if like when you ain't in the presence of your children or your woman and she or they act a certain type of way.
Right.
We was playing spades.
Right.
And I was like, yo, like this is dope. Like I'm playing spades with Tiny and the boom, you called. She didn't. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on, I call him back. You called, she answered. Hey, I'm here with Cam. Say what's up. Matter of fact, we need to run it back with him.
Right.
Those type of dynamics is telling me everything I need to know about you. So when I see men, whether married or not,
right,
I look at your woman and how she acts. And I look at your children and how they act. You can have all the money in the world, bro.
That's real.
But if your children don't respect others or even you, they can't respect you if they disrespecting others.
That's real. If you would have never played football, what do you think you would have done?
Daycare center.
You would have ran a daycare center.
Bro.
A daycare center?
And then I can hear the comments now. Like, you got a daycare center now? Like,
oh, bro, so you do have a daycare center now?
Yeah, every time I go home.
What's that? Hey, well, look, tell me what are the other businesses that you have right now outside of your athletics?
So production company.
Okay.
So we got 4th and 1, we got Funky Friday, and anything that you may see Cam Newton in any capacity. Right. YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat.
Ever done scripted?
No, I haven't.
Interested?
It has to make sense with an S and a C.
Why you here?
I'm trying to tell you.
Hey. Okay. And what else you got?
So I got, in the hospitality business with restaurants.
Okay.
Man, I'm in the process of opening my third in the spring of 26. We got fellowship. My brother and his partners are running Social 309 or 304. What is it? 309 Social, yeah. So, yeah, my brother is running, with his partners, 309 Social. The end zone will be opening in spring of 2026. Mashika hats.
Where did the hats come from?
Montana and LA.
Mm.
Yeah. As where originated.
Did you start saying I want to have the Monopoly Man hat, or did you just?
Oh, it is. I just want the money. You can keep the Monopoly. I want my money to get free, and I just want all to get out of jail free cards.
That's right. That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? But no, it originated from being in Atlanta, and everybody used to wear lids, New Era hats, and then all of a sudden, like I was the eclectic person that I don't like looking like everybody.
Yeah.
One of my partners would always, man, the J's about to come out, boy. And then we used to judge, like, boy, you fresh as hell, boy, look at the J, boy, you got no new one, you got the Milan, boy, you got the Panda, you got the Space Jet. I'm like, I ain't never had that money to be able to do that. But everybody would wear the Atlanta Braves hat. You feel what I'm saying? Hence to, yourself and your style. But when you start to grow and you start to realize, like, bro, I'm growing the hell, bro, I'm trying to get in the club and they taking my hats away, but they ain't taking these fedoras away. And I'm starting to say, like, a passion ended up being profit for me.
Got it.
So I went out to LA and I was buying so many fedora custom-made hats that me and my milliner or hatter we built a relationship and we just opened our own business, and by the grace of God, we here. And from the philanthropy side, bro, we have C1N, which is a all-star team events company as well too. We throw football events that we just give platforms for kids, man. And
hard.
Yeah.
Hard, man. So first of all, congratulations on everything you've done, all you've overcome, and everything it took for you to make it to the point where you made it here today. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You're a stand-up dude. You've always been a man of respect in my eyes. You know what I mean? And you've always been a fierce competitor every time I've seen you on the field. So ain't nothing but some love and respect. You feel me?
Appreciate it.
There's a segment of Expeditiously. It's called the Word of the Day. And the Word of the Day, it gives a word that describes the conversation or the guest of the day at Expeditiously. And the word of the day today is inexpugnable. Inexpugnable. The definition of inexpugnable is too powerful to be defeated or overcome. And I will use it in a sentence. I will say Cam Newton, regardless of his challenges, has proved himself to be inexpugnable in his career.
Can you tell me the origin?
I cannot. But I welcome you to ChatGPT, AI, you know what I'm saying? You can Google yourself to death. It's Googleable.
AI, may I, T.I.
Hey, man. Love and respect. Thank you so much for coming through, man. This has been Expeditiously.
Yeah!